You know, one thing that we don't understand as Black Americans is that why everybody always talking about us, even when we're not in the room. We know the white supremacists talk about us like all day long.
Of Cyril Ramaphosa, an agent of the white monopoly sent to destroy the ANC's legacy from within. Hello, my name is Reneilwe Morema and I am your host right here on the African Diaspora News channel, reporting live from Johannesburg, South Africa. The votes are in and the results look bad for the ANC, and for the first time since the dawn of democracy, the ANC sits below 40%, ending its reign of terror. The ANC has enjoyed 30 years of uninterrupted ruling, and during that 30 years, it has produced some fine presidents that drove us out of the shackles of apartheid and improved our livelihood. But most importantly, it transformed the economy and made sure black people also had a slice of their cake in this democracy. These presidents had stellar policies that shaped the country to what it is today. Mandela focused on racial reconciliation and dismantling structures of apartheid. And he is the backbone of the ANC. And through the ANC, his spirit lives on forever. I believe the reason people still vote for the ANC today is because of his ideologies and how he launched freedom for us. In 1994, people, especially the older generation in the rural areas, resonated with that. They still believe in the Mandela dream. Mbeki's term was blighted by eccentric beliefs on HIV. He resigned after being recalled by the ANC. Jacob Zuma, the most loved president after Nelson Mandela, his love, charm, and the ability to humble himself before his people gained him favor in the public eye. Zuma was quick to emphasize unity upon taking office. Addressing the country at his inauguration speech, he spoke of a firm commitment to continuing the nation-building project established during Nelson Mandela's presidency. Zuma also promised to work towards building a more egalitarian and efficient society, a goal he spoke of achieving within a single term in office. For Zuma, much of the country's problems could be attributed to what he perceived to be ineffective management of service delivery budgets, poor tendering, and corruptions. problems that could supposedly be corrected by decentralizing presidential powers and disposing of incompetent officials.
I've been vilified, alleged to be the king of corrupt people. I'm the most corrupt. I've been given every other name, and I'd never responded to those issues. It is important that we all respect one another, that we must say things we know about other people, not just tell things that we cannot prove.
The promise of employment was also central, with unemployment sitting at 21.5% at the time of Zuma's inauguration. The millions of jobless South Africans presented a notable obstacle for the government to overcome. Zuma takes credit for having raised the ANC's election numbers during his time as president. All these policies were overshadowed by the state capture and Nkandla scandal. He resigned less than a year before his term was to end. And then there is Cyril Ramaphosa. A lot of people had hopes in Cyril Ramaphosa, myself included. He is an established businessman, a billionaire, meaning he can easily take us out of this collapsing economy. He can generate a lot of money for us. Call on his investor friends to come revive us, improve infrastructure, increase employment rate, and fix whatever is happening at Eskom thanks to Zuma and his Gupta friends. But boy, were we wrong. Just because you are a successful businessman doesn't mean you could be an excellent politician. Gayton McKenzie was right about that. Business and politics don't mix. His reputation is dented by the embarrassment of the Phala Phala scandal and dogged by power and water cuts. He dragged the ANC's legacy to hell after those election results, and many people have found Ramaphosa's term to be a disappointment. In my previous segment, I have spoken about why I think Ramaphosa was an agent planted in the ANC to destroy it from within, and it doesn't help that he had a personal agenda against the ANC. He has an itch, and now he is scratching it at the expense of people. Ramaphosa can be located at the center of the current economic challenges faced by many South Africans. Poverty, unemployment, and inequalities. He's one of the black economic empowerment elite benefactors who made billions at the expense of the poor South Africans. He became one of the benefactors of black economic empowerment deals, a scheme that was designed to entrench the stranglehold of big businesses in the economy by frustrating small and medium enterprises, using powerful politicians like Ramaphosa to protect their interests. He's been flaunting his wealth, rubbing it in the faces of the poor. He's called Mr. Buffalo because he once almost bid 20 million rands in an auction. A clear indication of how completely out of touch with the realities of poverty facing millions of South Africans. Let us look at Ramaphosa's journey to becoming president and why I think he has a vendetta against the ANC and why I think he is an agent planted to destroy the ANC from within. After the unbanning of all political parties, Ramaphosa became the ANC's first Secretary General at its first Congress in 1991 in Durban, a position he retained again at the 1994 Congress in Bloemfontein. The ANC power play was always between three groups. The prisoners and the exiles were the two most prominent and powerful groups within the ANC, and they believed that the country owed its liberation to them. You see, when I say these political leaders are in power because they feel like we owe them for our freedom, not because they are experienced or they truly care for us. It is some kind of sick game to them. That is why today we have primary teachers as Minister of Defense. Where have you even where have you ever heard of that notion? Anyway, Ramaphosa belonged to the Inziles, the term used to describe those who fought the apartheid government head-on from within the country through various activities and structures. It was not surprising then that when he wanted to contest for the presidency in 1997 against Mbeki at the ANC Congress, which was held in Mafikeng, he didn't get any support. Mbeki was the son of struggle stalwart Govan Mbeki and was very close to the longest serving ANC president Oliver Tambo, and he spent years in exile as well. Mandela would have preferred Ramaphosa to succeed him, but because of the dominance of the two groups in the ANC, the prisoners and the exiles, he was convinced to support Mbeki. Ramaphosa felt so aggravated that he didn't even attend the inauguration of Mandela as the first black president of the country. Dun dun dun. Mbeki was elected unopposed and Ramaphosa went to business. Ramaphosa went back to rekindle his relationship with mining companies. He started as National Union of Mine Workers General Secretary from 1982 to 1991, a position he relinquished when he was elected the Secretary General of the ANC. He became one of the benefactors of black economic empowerment deals. As I explained earlier, a scheme that was designed to entrench the stranglehold of big businesses in the economy by frustrating small and medium enterprises, using powerful politicians like Ramaphosa to protect their interests. Anyway, under Zuma's government, where he was serving as deputy president, 30.4 million South Africans were living below the poverty line. The unemployment rate was at 36%. The country was losing more than 30 billion rands a year through corruption and maladministration, and the gap between the rich and the poor was widening. In 2015, Zuma put Ramaphosa in charge of the state-owned enterprises. Under his watch, looting has been happening at an alarming rate without a word from Ramaphosa. During the Nkandla scandal, he defended Zuma in parliament on numerous occasions when many of us expected him to be the voice of reason. Zuma was blindsided at that point because Ramaphosa had gained Zuma's trust. He let his guard down while Ramaphosa and his allies within the ANC were planning Zuma's exit in 2017. But more disturbing is his role in Marikana, where 34 miners were killed by police when they were protesting for a wage increase. Ramaphosa, a shareholder in London Mine Longman, issued an instruction to the police and mining ministers at the time, Natim Tetwa and Susan Shabangu, for police to deal with the situation. Ramaphosa is a capitalist who pretends to be a communist or a socialist. There isn't a single socialist bone in his body despite his history as a trade unionist. Some say he is where he is by accident, but I say he planned it from the moment he wasn't chosen to be Nelson Mandela's deputy president. It hurt him to the core that he was willing to play the long game just to become president and destroy the ANC from within. To destroy Nelson Mandela's legacy, because it is the very same ANC that denied him the opportunity to be part of history. Remember, 1994 and 1999 was a pivotal time in South African history, and having fought so hard for the liberation and not be able to reap the fruit of his labor sent him down a rabbit hole of revenge. And today, the citizens of South Africans are collateral damage to this madman's scheme. Nelson Mandela is turning in his grave because it has always been his dream to have everlasting freedom for his people. And today, after 30 years, Ramaphosa has taken us back to apartheid. He is selling us to the DA, the white man, just as de Klerk has predicted. To those people that thought Ramaphosa would save the ANC from Zuma's reign of terror, as the media called it, the propaganda spread by Ramaphosa's media had us all fooled, had us all believing we were in the pit of hell. How is the saving grace working out for you? Are we saved? Are we living in the future you promised us? People warned us about this man. If you think Ramaphosa will save South Africa, don't hold your breath. Here we are, South Africa. Now you see why the DA wants to get in bed with Ramaphosa while the blankets are still warm. His vendetta serves their interest. What do you think about this? Looking at Ramaphosa's history, being denied of the presidency back in 1997, not having Nelson Mandela's support, he planned this from the T. He had a personal vendetta against the ANC and South Africa. He had a personal vendetta against us. He's literally selling us to the white man. He's selling us back to apartheid. There's a reason why he prefers a coalition with the DA over the EFF and the MK. The EFF and the MK, they are for us. The DA has always had relations with the West. We all know that the West wants to take over Africa and its minerals. And DA will be the cornerstone of that. DA will be the portal for the West to come in our country and do as they please. And by doing so, Ramaphosa and his allies at the ANC will be getting richer and richer. So, I don't know, he has a personal vendetta against Nelson Mandela's legacy. He wants to destroy it from within. He was planning this from the moment he didn't get support from Mandela. He has been planning this from the moment he was denied of his birthright. Since he fought apartheid from head on, he thought he deserves the country, he deserves the presidency as the prize. And when he did not get that, it sent him down a rabbit hole. He went crazy. He started spiraling. He waited for the right moment to pounce. And today we are feeling that pouncing. Today we are living in extreme poverty. The rich is getting richer. The poor is getting poor. The gap is widening. The inequality is insane. The minority, the white minority of South Africa, they are living lavishly. Even after apartheid has long gone, even after the democracy, they are reaping the true fruits of democracy. That is something to think about. Comment to us in the comment section below what you think about this segment. Don't forget to like and share the broadcast. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss these groundbreaking conversations right here on the African Diaspora News channel. My name is Reneilwe Morema. It has been an absolute pleasure.